My name's Jeff Rice, and I'm the Executive Director of the Four Fires Tribe. The Four Fires is a Christian nonprofit that builds four-dimensional men, and here's what that means. Every morning we wake up and God gives us an armful of logs, or firewood, and those logs represent our time, our energy, and our resources that we have to invest into our life and in the lives of others. Being a four-dimensional man is about becoming the man that God created you to be. It requires living intentionally in every area of life so that we can be mature and complete, lacking nothing. So the four fires that men need to make sure we're keeping stoked in our life are the purpose fire. The purpose fire is about our relationship with God, and as I explain the other three fires here in a second, just know that if you will strive to know God personally, your motive behind building your other three fires will improve drastically. Trust me. So the question that we start with in the purpose fire is, do you believe that you have a soul or a spirit? Is there something about you that is eternal, that when you die, you're going to go somewhere? And whether you're a believer or not, most men will answer yes to that question. And if your answer to that question is no, I encourage you to give it some thought. If we have a soul, then it begs the question, where did it come from? Do we have a creator? Does our creator care about having a relationship with us? And then does our creator care about the way that we live our life and the choices that we make? The four-dimensional men that I see have a deep peace in who they are as a son of God and who they are because of Christ. And their other three fires are stronger and more fulfilling to them as a result. So the first fire in our life that we need to make sure that we're putting our time, our energy, and our resources into is our purpose fire. The second fire is the people fire. The people fire is all about how we build and maintain healthy and strong relationships with our family and our same-sex friends. We need to be making sure that our homes are places of strength and not stress. We want to make sure that our wife loves being married to us and she loves being led by us because we lead her well, we love and cherish her, and we live a life that is respectable. We should make sure that our kids respect us and love us deeply, and we should have men in our life that authentically know us. Because as Scripture says, as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. We need other men who know us authentically. Jesus tells us that the two greatest commandments are love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. That's the purpose fire. And then second, we should love our neighbor as ourselves. That's the people fire. So Jesus communicates very clearly that our purpose fire and our people fire are most important in life. Most of the joys of life come from having strong relationships with the people we love and care about the most. Your role as a man is way more important than you think. God tells us that we're the leaders of our household, and because we're the leader of our household, we must become the leader of our household. And to become that leader, we need to be spiritual leaders. We need to have a strong purpose fire, and we need to have a strong people fire. But we also have to have a strong physical fire. The physical fire is about honoring God with our bodies. It's about being grateful for the blessing that God has given us in our bodies so that we can move around and make memories with our family and our friends and do good work. We can't control disease, we can't control accidents, and we can't control birth defects. But two things that every one of us can 100% control is all of the food that we choose to eat and how often we exercise. Scripture tells us that our days are numbered and that we can't add a single day to our life. However, I do believe that we have the ability to control how healthy those days are that God has given us. And that's what the physical fire is all about. Being an example for all of our family and our friends by honoring God with our bodies and practicing self-control, which is one of the fruit of the Spirit. The final fire that men need to make sure that they're stoking and keeping burning hot in their life is the professional fire. And the professional fire is all about identifying what you're good at, what has God gifted you to do, and then how can you take those gifts and learn how to convert them into cash so that you can provide for your family and be generous. This doesn't necessarily mean making millions of dollars. It might not. God blesses us all with different income levels. We see that in the parable of the talents. But the professional fire is about being excellent at whatever it is that your craft is, and then making sure that you're being adequately compensated for the value that you provide. There are over 2,500 scriptures all throughout the Bible that talk about money, work, and possessions. So God has a lot to say about this area of our life, the professional fire. So if we want to be four-dimensional, if we want to become the man that God created us to be, we have to make sure that we're building all four of these fires. As I mentioned, men are the leaders of our household, and leaders are able to give out of strength, but we can't give what we don't have. So again, the four areas of life that we need to make sure that we are constantly putting our logs on and building are the purpose fire, the people fire, the physical fire, and the professional fire. And the reason that being a four-dimensional man is so important is because when you choose to be the spiritual leader for your family and your friends, and you have a strong identity and a peace because of this spiritual strength that you've built, the purpose fire, and you have strong family relationships, your wife loves being married to you, your kids respect you, and you have deep, authentic, meaningful friendships with other men in your life who, if your life was a 100-page book, they would know most of those pages. And when you're physically strong and healthy and you're a physical example of how we should live our life for the people in your life, and when you are confident in what you do professionally and you're adequately compensated and you can provide for your family, and then you can be generous and be a financial blessing to others. When a man is strong in all four of these areas, he completely changes his family tree. He can change his church that he's a part of, he can change his community, he can change the business that he's a part of. And so the mission of the Four Fires nonprofit is to build an army of four-dimensional men, just like I described, all over this nation. If you've listened to all of this and you're intrigued, you want to start your four-dimensional journey, I encourage you to read below on all of our next step opportunities. The Four Fires journey is exactly that. It's a journey. It's not a destination. The Four Fires is here to equip you to live four-dimensionally by day and by decade. I hope that you'll join us.